You know, you've got a track record of being so unreliable that people thought our cold open for the Last of Us review was real.
I was actually worried that was going to happen.
That it was going to sully your name?
Yeah.
Or that you were actually going to play the video game?
I wanted to like tweet out and say that this was all fake, but then I thought maybe you did it thinking that people would think it's real because it's believable. And then I actually got mad at you because it was like insulting. Was that what it was?
I mean, it's...
Can you give a firm yo into your mic?
Yo.
Yeah, you're on. Yeah, your mic's on.
Oh yeah, it is a little low.
Yeah, speak up.
I'm excited, man. I need a nice, clean, swift recording from us today.
Thanks, Coach. I need that $15 that you owe me.
I do owe you that. I'll send it to you. I got you.
That's why I voiced it on you.
I mean, I should fucking not pay that because you guys set me up for the fucking worst movie of all time.
I mean,
it's just
come
the
on.
principle.
It's just, they're blue people. They're aliens.
I mean, I wish we didn't have to pay for that movie. That movie should have been on like Tubi or Pornhub or something where it's free to watch.
Yeah, no, those are my,
Skinamarink.
God, that was horrible. Can we open with this? With how bad it was?
Hello, everybody.
I want my $15 back.
I'll get it to you.
It's just it's like it's $15. Who cares? But the way you went about it is fucking driving me insane.
You owe me $9.
For what?
So how about
I'll send you.
You send me the $9.
How do I owe you $9?
Because you got that discount. Look, he's giving you shit. He gets a discount for his popcorn and his soda at Regal. But I had already Venmo'd him for my $9 popcorn.
He didn't tell you?
No, I saw it happen.
I didn't see.
And he looks over at me and he goes, "You're welcome."
Yeah. Well, I figured.
I just chalked that up to being a good pal, you know?
I mean, I'm thinking we just chalked the ticket
I
up
figured
in
you'd
general.
get me back, you know? You got a lot of connections, stuff that I might want.
But that was like,
Can my 15 just get lost in this?
And I mean, I did use my points technically, so I did pay. But Teddy, I've seen him this is the third time I'm seeing him since then.
We agreed on 10.
And he's trying to haggle me in the price of a movie ticket.
I recall the last time you guys talked about it. I know you're in other group chats, but in our group chat, you asked him how much it was. He said 15, and you sent back, "I'll do 11," handshake emoji. And he did not respond.
He didn't give me $11.
No, yeah.
He didn't even give me the 11.
We're still working the kinks out.
There are no... It's just...
So there's no chance we get to 10?
No.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Soup Podcast. I am Bo Oliver, joined here today with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and Teddy for our first podcast of the calendar year 2023. Had to get Big Ted on this one.
Big Ted.
And by the way, we go to...
I mean it, like Big Sean. I know with these guys, you never know.
I meet him at the brewery the night after, and Teddy's like, "Oh, I'll just get you a round of beers," and didn't get me a round of beers.
That could have been payback, yeah.
I know.
Beer,
I
solid
did it there.
$10 beer. Well, they're usually not that expensive. 2 beers. Yeah, we're back. I'm excited about this show. We've got some good topics to talk about, some mainstream topics. We're talking House of the Dragon and some of the Golden Globe winners. The Golden Globes returning after a year hiatus on television. We're also talking Avatar 2, which continues to make a lot of money at the box office. We probably should have just taken you to see that.
Yeah.
I would have gone for a third time. And yeah, we'll be answering some fan questions as well. Maybe talk a little Last of Us.
Elena Whittaker came.
I thought Elena was into horror movies. I thought you were going to sell her on that.
She was, but then she watched the trailer and thought it was going to be disgustingly bad and said no. Which I should have done the same.
And maybe listen to your wife, right? That's a lesson. Wife knows best. And you can follow us on social media at NerdSoup, at BoSoup, at NerdSoupMonkey, at Teddy NerdSoup, and you can listen to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Or right here on YouTube.
Paid for his wife's ticket too.
I mean, I gave you ample time to backtrack that one.
I know, that's why I'm not putting you on the hook for it, but still.
Yeah, I was in the car when you were contemplating that, and I didn't understand why you didn't do it, but...
Because he's got money, man.
Tried to martyr yourself.
Supporting independent filmmakers.
The moment you said the $15,000 budget is when I should have backed out.
Also, I kept it because I was just like, I didn't feel like refunding it, then having to get another ticket for Teddy. It was just the whole thing. And then by the time I went to go do it, it was too late. So let's just take the extra space. Worked out for you. Yeah, you had a nice little seat between.
I did, yeah. I had some arm room, leg room.
You're welcome.
You should have saw me. I was squeezed between him and Aaron, Nash. I was like I couldn't move.
Your movie habits are
Oh yeah, your etiquette is out of control.
the popcorn jump, especially in a movie like that, where
I need to
like
talk to your parents.
it relies on its
the popcorn
atmosphere, the chews.
Yeah, you're always
Well, yeah, it's like
The
you're
jokes
pressing
he's
it,
making.
pressing it down.
You know that scene that
You were talking too.
it's going around Twitter. It's from the cartoon of him like
yeah.
the bunny
Yeah,
closing
I
himself,
heard every
disappears.
ad lib. That I heard.
Then he goes, "Oh, it's a good move."
It was.
He was.
I swear to God, I laughed at the cartoon when it first came up. Like I was actually watching the cartoon.
Well, you know what?
I was like,
Let's just
I'm
start
a
with
kid.
It's like, I don't know, and the bad popcorn too. I'll give you that.
dude,
That was
yeah.
the worst popcorn I've ever had in my life.
We'll just start with a quick discussion on Skinamarink. We won't go too long.
Yeah.
It's a movie that a lot of people still haven't seen yet, but if you get the chance, if
Good for
it's
them.
playing by you, good for them. And you can skip ahead to the main story if you want to do that. Just check the time codes. But what an experience for you and Nash in particular. You both hated it
Absolutely.
vehemently. Nash was fuming.
But you got a good. You should have heard me during the movie.
You two got good laughs out of the crowd
Heard
when it was
every
over.
word.
We did.
Yeah, that was fun. They'll remember that.
Well, they should be in jail. I don't know
You
who
were
the
trying
hell
to
it
rush
was.
out. It's like, I'm not with them.
I know. I was
I'm a
trying
man
to
of
distance
taste.
myself. Yeah.
I promise.
You two enjoyed it, honestly. Pod aside, try and act like you guys liked it on the pod. You guys enjoyed it.
Well, follow me on Letterboxd. You would have saw my review.
You liked it more than I did.
I did.
By a hair.
Give me a break.
I have
It's
a
not
lot-
a movie that I want to watch anytime again. Actually, I do. I take that back. I want to watch it in my room with headphones on because the sound design was probably the best technical aspect of the film. But I do think that it's a movie, even though I would encourage everyone to go out and see it in theaters, I do think it works better watching it on a laptop in a dark room in a dark house at midnight. I think that's the best way to immerse yourself.
The only
Because
thing
when
that
you
got
get a
me,
teddy next to you and you
Oh,
get the
get-
groaning in the moment.
I only started going with 20 minutes left. I'm like, this has got to end soon.
I'm not going to act like this movie's for everyone. It's
No.
clearly not, and it's super experimental. But it's a movie I couldn't get out of my head after the fact. And the more that I sat with it, the more I kept thinking about it. I found myself liking it.
I found like 20 minutes in, I'm like, I was ready to be like, this is just a filmmaker that thinks he's
Better than me.
got it.
Yeah.
Like he's just so much better than everybody else. He knows so much. You don't get it. This is art. And like that's what I said in my Letterboxd review. It's like I thought like, oh, if you like this, you're just a pretentious douchebag that likes to be different from everybody else. But then like as like I kind of sat with it and kept watching it, I'm like, I'm kind of digging it. And I think I think that has to do with how the movie progresses. It turned to be something where like the first 20 minutes you just see all these different shots with the angles and shadows, and it's like, okay, that gets old after a while. But I felt like it got better in that regard in terms of what he was like really trying to show, and I think it got a little creepier. The music, it all just kept culminating and kept compounding on each other, where I think there was a tremendous amount of like actual skill involved. Whether like in the beginning I'm just like, all right, you're just taking weird shots. It's like a fucking PowerPoint slideshow of the worst. What's that website you go to look at houses?
Zillow?
Yeah, it's like a 3-year-old made your Zillow slideshow to sell your house. But then it actually, I think, improved in that regard. And I think the atmosphere, the vibe, the shadows, the creepiness with the music and the static and with the cartoons, it all really kind of...
There was some
There
level
were-
of eeriness
Yeah.
that, like, I guess you can respect, because that scene at the end seemed like it was like a bunch of different looks that I don't know if it was part of, like,
No, the use of darkness.
if he was doing that with the contrast, like changing focus or something, but that was a really nice shot.
No, I think that was like intentional, and especially there's a lot of scenes where half the screen is shadow and
Yeah.
half is darkness, and there's a little bit light coming in. I think that's all intentional. That's what I kind of appreciated it. But I think I end where you were, like when you left the movie. I think you like it more now after thinking about it. But when you left, I think you said something along the lines like, "I appreciate the attempt, but it didn't really come like fully into fruition for me," and that's kind of where I still am.
But like an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, no, it's a fucking
But for
drag,
me, it
like-
was like maybe 3 or 4 minutes worth of like good shots that I personally saw. For an hour and 35 minutes, it was kind of unwatchable for me.
Like you made the point, it's like it's an art exhibit at the MoMA,
Right, yeah. And
extended for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Coming away from it, well, thinking about it now, I think my biggest problem is that there were certain moments where I wish he just would have stayed with it. I think sometimes he got a little too excited of transitioning to a new shot, where there were moments that were really building up these unsettling feelings and it was super creepy, and then he would cut. But for the whole movie, my mind was playing tricks on me because of the way it's shot with that grainy 90s aesthetic where it looks like shadows are constantly moving on screen, and you're thinking, is that a face? Is that an arm? Is somebody moving? Is somebody in the room with them? And a lot of people have made this point that it is bringing the haunted house to life through using all these awkward angles and these weird spaces, really telling it through the perspective of a child. And also walking around your house at night, a lot of people have made this point too, but when you get up at 2 a.m. and you're trying to get to the kitchen for something to eat, there is something alien about it, where even though you know your house, you're familiar with it, but it becomes unrecognizable. And I think we've all had this happen, where you walk into a room and you think you see something and it's not necessarily there because it's dark.
Well, I
think that's what he did such a good job of, is playing with that concept of seeing things in the dark.
Is that what he was trying to do with the kids, though? Like when the kids saw the chair on the wall, on the ceiling, is that what he was trying to make it seem like? Like they didn't know what they were looking at?
I think that's something where, like, that's for me where I kind of, doesn't lose me, but I wish it was a little bit more grounded in that aspect, where like the star of the show is the shots and the shadow, and kind of staying away from the abnormal, I think would have made it more effective for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because showing, like, if that's your intention, then you don't really need to show anything that's not realistic in order to get that point across.
The one jump scare of the toy that's gone viral,
I
think is the best example of that. Where you just keep the camera on that little freaky guy.
Yeah.
I do agree, though. Like, some houses,
all it took was a little cut and then the noise, and that was it.
Yeah.
It fucking scared the shit out of you.
Some, like, people's homes aesthetically, like, if it's dark and dim and, like, just the way that it's lit, it's just got a weird vibe when you walk into it.
Dude, my basement with that clown painting.
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking
Yeah,
about
just
after
like
the movie.
house with the Kramer.
You ever just go,
Yeah,
you ever
right,
go to,
yeah.
like, someone's home and, like, it's just like, this is kind of just depressing. I couldn't live here.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess you can say that
It
with
feels
that home,
like that childhood home that you don't want to go back to when you've moved out of state. You got to come home for the holidays, and it just kind of brings back, that's the thing. He left a lot of it ambiguous, but
I
he
wish
also
there was more
said,
communications, man, because it was scary. Very minimal writing, but when they were talking, and like you're trying to follow the movie, So when you're trying to follow it, it was kind of scary. It was. Then he would just cut for 20 minutes on part of the house. It was like he would stop with the kids talking and then go to a bunch of different shots.
I go to the bathroom and come back like 2 minutes later. I jokingly to Teddy, I'm like, "What did I miss?" He's like, "This."
Yeah,
it was just a cartoon of that fucking guy going in and out.
Can we rewind it 5 minutes?
Stop the projector.
There's a cut in the corner, then there's a cut in the bathroom, then they're back in the living room. But I mean, the cinematography really does stand out, and I think there was a lot of discourse about Gene Dealman being named the best movie on Sight and Sound, and I think this movie is cut from the same cloth, where you have to have patience with it. It's not going to meet you on any other level but its own. So unless you can get on its wavelength, you're not going to enjoy it. But I even saw reviews of people saying, I was watching it and it was an agonizing experience, but then I couldn't get it out of my head, similar to me. And even though they don't have a desire to rewatch it anytime soon, they just appreciate how it sticks with you. And movies that are able to do that, I've sat through movies that they're deliberately slow and they feel just they're being artsy for the sake of being something deep, and then they don't stick with you. But this one, like I said, I couldn't stop thinking about it, just mulling it over.
No, like at the 45-minute mark when everyone finished their popcorn and there was like no noise and I was kind of just not thinking like about like what the fuck is this, like what's going on. I just stopped thinking and kind of just started vibing with it. Then I actually started being like, okay, this is actually not a steaming pile of pretentious garbage.
Dare I say at points it was tranquil, where I stopped fearing it and just kind of enjoyed the constant white noise, and the graininess and the cinematography. And then I would get zapped out of that feeling with a jump scare. Mm-hmm. But I found it to just be relaxing almost at times.
No, well, it's a movie a lot of people are going to hate.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to seek it out. Well, I mean, maybe.
But what's funny is a lot of the people I see liking it on Letterboxd are people who have a wide variety of taste. One kid I saw, he's got like 50 5-star movies One of them was Revenge of the Sith. So your prototypical film snob is
taste.
right. Yeah, exactly. So I found, especially with horror movies, that it's people that enjoy the campiness, the slop almost. And I'm not saying this is slop, but it is very experimental, not for everyone. So it's people who can, see the beauty in movies that aren't traditionally, held in that high regard that may end up enjoying this. And if you are a horror fan, you definitely, there's a better chance of you liking it.
I will say there's something too where when I go home and it's like every noise I hear, I fucking turn my head like it was a camera shot, like because every noise that happened in the movie,
Why are you laughing?
It was a turn with the camera.
He's gonna end up liking it.
I'm not getting there. There's no chance.
No, but I think you just appreciate the concept more than anything.
Like I went home and Elena closed the door. And I turned my head. It's really fast because like I'm thinking of the movie. Like because every time a noise happened, the camera turned to a different shot.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you know what happened to me? I was watching the Knick game on my phone.
It's not happening.
The game ended, so I left my room, turned off the lights. About an hour later, I come back into my room. Not even an hour. They're doing the post-game interview. So I walk into a pitch dark room, and all I hear is Thibodeau's creepy little voice. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was the "in this house" guy.
Yeah,
well,
sucked.
I had the fucking baby monitor. I sent you the video.
Dude,
that's what. Yeah,
scared the shit out of me.
Even that one shot you sent me from the baby monitor, because I was just in that mode of just having watched the movie. I was like, that's fucking creepy. Like if I had a baby and I heard those noises in the middle of the night after watching that, I would have lost my shit. I think that's what the movie. I don't think it's a masterpiece. And it doesn't fully accomplish what it sets out to do, but it did enough for me to.
That's weird.
To like
I did see a lot of people like admit it, because with a movie like that, it's hard for not hard, but I feel like rarely people will be like 3 stars. It's either you kind of fuck with it, or you just think it's. I think it's just two extremes. But I saw a lot of people kind of like, 3, 3.5, which I was surprised about really because. It's either I feel like you're either Teddy or like you on this type of movie.
It would have been fun to get Nash on this because he really, really hated it.
Now this is like an hour after the movie. I'm just sitting there playing Call of Duty. I take the headsets off and like, you see this, or I hear this.
Come on, man, that's something you really could have heard. And
that's scary.
It scared the shit out of me, man. I'm not gonna lie.
So on Letterboxd, 20% of the reviews are 4-star, and 10% are 5, 6% are half-star. So, and then 15% is 3. So it's averaged out at 3.1.
Yeah,
it is all over the place. The director seems like a sweet guy. These days it feels like indie directors, 40% of them get canceled right after they release.
Is there numbers on the movie right now? Like box office numbers or no?
I think it made like 800,000 in its first weekend, which just makes it a success. She's gonna have to pay back his producer, whoever that may be, some guy at Shudder.
That's a odd movie to get, like, 'cause you see how many movies just like don't get picked up or even distributed. So like to see a movie like this actually make it to theaters.
How does that get to theaters though? Like, did this kid?
Well, actually, the story is after it premiered at a film festival, it leaked online. So a lot of the word of mouth started building from horror fans who watched the leak.
Really?
So that's what sort of inspired the. It's not a wide release.
Premiered at Venice?
I forget what film festival it was, but
probably like an indie.
Yeah, one of the smaller ones. That's why some of those film festivals
are pretty nice.
No, that's what they're there to do. That's what they're there to do.
That's pretty cool.
Put spotlight on movies that normally wouldn't get it.
Do those film festivals get packed? Like, is there a lot of people at them?
So it came out of the Fantasia International Film Festival.
Yeah, like in general, are film festivals packed?
I mean, Toronto, when I went, because when we went during COVID, it was kind of weird, but when I went, it was like pretty jammed. I mean, I hear Sundance gets pretty, because it's such a small town. Toronto's a city, and New York, it's New York City. There's like 20 fucking million things going on. Yeah. So, but Sundance, I hear, it really just takes over Park City, which I made not a mistake, but I'm going to Sundance. I leave tomorrow. I have a 6 a.m. Like, for some reason, when I book flights, I never like. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like 2 months from now.
What do you think? Earlier the better.
Well, like I'll say like 6 a.m. To me, but I forget I had to be there at 4.
Yeah.
And it's just a fucking hassle.
At 6. Your day starts at 4 a.m.
And my return flight's to Newark. I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out. But now that I'm leaving, I realize, I'm getting back.
Yeah, I think I'm
New
busy that day.
Jersey at 11 p.m. No one's gonna get me.
Ted, you're busy that day, right? Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you'll be in the city,
I'll just tell you, there's no chance I'm picking you up.
Not only would I when I get picked up from Newark or 11, I wouldn't expect anybody. Like that's just my
So what are you gonna do?
blunder.
You should Uber to the city and just train.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's actually a good idea.
But it's just
Sort of business doing that.
I
giving
fuck
good
over
ideas.
future me more often. Like it's, I gotta start treating the future me better.
Yeah, you got to treat yourself right. So it premiered at the Fantasia International Film Festival in Montreal. Apparently, it was TikTok users that really helped build the hype. So TikTok, the good and the bad.
Where they do dances.
Yeah, they were doing Megan dances. There's some hoes in this house. Has nobody made that yet? Actually, no. I've seen that edit of WAP.
To this?
Well, in the commercial, it's in this house, and then the WAP is there's some hoes in this house. All right, let's move on to our big story of the day that everybody clicked the video for. House of the Dragon. So that was Skinamarink. No, no, it was not Skinamarink.
Should we just take the Skinamarink and put it after House of the Dragon with editing magic?
We could do that.
I did nail the song. Skinamarink,
You did nail that. You did nail that.
That was a great pull. Yeah, we were all wondering what the title meant, and all of a sudden this kid starts Skinamarinky dinky dink.
Wait a minute.
Broken clock, man. But when you strike. All right, let's move on here. House of the Dragon.
You actually made me laugh. Like, I told you this story. We were on the group FaceTime, and out of nowhere, Teddy just goes, "You look fucking hideous."
Oh, Nash.
To Nash out of nowhere. It might have been just
It wasn't out of nowhere. He shit on fucking Hunter. He took
like 20 minutes before
shit
that,
on him.
he said his dog looked a little fat.
No, not a little fat. He said Hunter looks like
Hunter
a fat
getting-
piece of shit.
He's getting...
So I hung up. Elena came home. We talked for a minute. I came back on, and he was still on. So I fucking fired at him.
You guys do need an intervention. More
Yeah.
positivity in the year 2023.
We should.
Yeah.
I get like scared to post stuff on
Instead
Instagram.
of saying Hunter looks like a fat piece of shit, he's
Oh,
a
cute
chunky
dog.
boy.
But watch
Yeah, he's a big chunk.
All right, watch this. This is why it's impossible
Instead
to
he said
happen.
it, and he got a big laugh at everybody, and it pissed me off.
Yeah. This is why it's impossible for
Those yucks be
this to
hitting different.
happen.
What? What are you doing?
Okay, well that's like your animal instinct. You stare at someone.
What was that?
That's why it's not going to work because
But that stare for Teddy just is like, oh, he got defensive, like he's about to fire something off or something like that.
No, I wanted
It's just in the back of
the fuck you
in
looking
the
at?
back of his head at all of our heads at every time.
well, whatever it is, you guys need the lady from Ted Lasso. Sit you all down.
Which one?
Good point. All right, let's move on here to the Golden Globes 2023. Like we mentioned last year, they took a break from televising the ceremony, but now it's back and no one watched it. So
I was
that
gonna
was
say,
fun.
are those still going on?
I had no idea. Like a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's normally Sunday.
Yeah,
right?
and no promotion whatsoever. I had no idea they were going to be on.
I think they're mad that they have to do it. Oh, we gotta bring the fucking Globes back.
Yeah, I remember last year it was a whole big issue with
Diversity
the
within the
network.
Hollywood Foreign Press or
right.
whatever.
Yeah, the network having problems with the Hollywood Foreign Press. It seemed a bit performative, and then a year later, nothing's changed, and they just
this whole like thing. Even the host made a joke about it. It's like the only reason why I'm here is because I'm black, and it's just like basically the Golden Globes trying to be like, that's the old us. Look at us now, and it was just the same fucking shitty Golden Globes.
right. That's why I'm calling it performative. Not that I don't want things to be more diverse, but
Yeah, sure.
they made it out that this year off has changed things entirely. But
Now the
They don't
question-
address why Brendan Fraser isn't there.
say that again.
But let's not address why Brendan Fraser wasn't there. Like there's so many problems with
right.
There's so many problems with the
I
Golden
totally
Globes.
forgot
or
about that whole thing.
Tom Cruise returning all his Golden Globes, and I think there's this kind of like, I don't know, it's just a mess over there. I feel like it's no longer like considered. I feel like it never was the Emmys or the Oscars, but now I just feel like it's not even in the same stratosphere.
It's like winning a Nick Globe or
terms-
it's like a Nickelodeon thing.
I mean,
Don't disrespect the Kids' Choice Awards like that. Are you
Look at
kidding me?
everyone who wasn't there in attendance. I mean, they still
Yeah.
had a good like crew of people coming, but there was a lot of people that you would think wouldn't miss. Usually there's like maybe one nominee that doesn't show up to like an Oscars, if that. Here it was just it seemed like every other award someone was missing.
It's almost like better than winning a Kids' Choice Award.
It's funny because for a time it looked like
it's awesome.
The Golden Globes were becoming a bit more respectable because a lot of the winners were you could use those winners to predict who may be the favorite for the Oscar, but now it's kind of fallen off a cliff. But it was good for House of the Dragon, and that's our big show, obviously, being Game of Thrones fans and fans of House of the Dragon. It went up against Better Call Saul, The Crown, Ozark, and Severance, so it was, you could say that's a stacked category. Yeah, television, everyone's like, the golden age is over, but we still got a lot of good shows that a lot of people like. So that was awesome to see. Yeah. And it was Sapochnik up there with, what?
That was weird, just him being the...
Right, since he's leaving.
Having the acceptance speech, yeah.
Yeah, and Emma Darcy and then Millie Alcock. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess he is co-showrunner. I guess, once again, Ryan Condal just not there. George R. Martin, hopefully he's writing. I mean, when you stack it up against these shows, I didn't see The Crown. I would say Better Call Saul is the best out of the bunch, but for some reason, Better Call Saul now has the honor similar to The Wire of never winning an Emmy despite all its nominations. So sometimes that just happens to shows, man.
Dude, I was shocked. I mean, I wasn't really expecting House of the Dragon to win. I mean, it was definitely like one of the better shows, but it just didn't have that like feel around it that maybe Game of Thrones did in terms of like...
It seemed like just Game of Thrones fans enjoyed House of the Dragon.
I think a lot of people did, but it's just something where I feel like Game of Thrones, especially earlier on, always had Breaking Bad to compete with. And now this, obviously in a year without Succession, it definitely opens the opportunity for them to win. But, I mean, Better Call Saul, after, the fifth season, its final season, everyone's saying how great it was. For that not to win was pretty surprising.
Yeah, and I guess they're still up for the Emmys, right, that are coming up? Or did we already do that?
I don't know. I get so confused. The Emmys happened when I was in September. I was in Toronto when it happened, and I had no idea the Emmys were on.
Okay, yeah, that may have been for part one of Better Call Saul's final season. I don't know if they're still eligible. But Abbott Elementary, a show that I've been meaning to watch for a long time, won for Best Musical or Comedy, a show that a lot of people like. Kevin Costner won Best Actor for Yellowstone.
Wasn't there.
Which is the most beloved show for everybody over the age of 50.
I don't know what's
Your
going
parents
on.
love Yellowstone?
Elena's parents are obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Every time I see them, you guys start Yellowstone yet?
Same thing with my mom. Man, you gotta watch Yellowstone. Now
I think the
watching
worst part
prequel.
About doing this is people telling you to watch things, and then when you say you didn't watch something, they're like, how did you not watch it?
Yeah. I do the same thing, though, when I bring up Game of Thrones or something to someone that hasn't watched it. You haven't watched House of the Dragon yet?
Yeah, but it's like they think because like, oh, I do like a podcast or movies and TV that I've literally watched everything. It's like, wait, you don't watch Yellowstone? And you do Nerd Soup? It's like
I'm pressing Tilo on
I don't know
everyone
what to
right
tell
now.
you. This guy came up to me like, well, at the gym, so I think he asked me. I forgot how we started talking, but like I had a My Hero Academia T-shirt on, and he's like, oh, like talking about My Hero. He's like, oh yeah. Like starts going on about like Demon Slayer. I'm like, slow down, buddy. This is
I got one. I'm
got
two
like
in right now.
I got two under my belt right here. I can't, I just like the shirt.
That is one thing. People that are into anime are fucking into anime, and they'll watch anything anime.
Oh yeah, that's Cam, dude. Cam burns through fucking animes.
Yeah, I feel like there's not many people like me. Like I've watched two.
Yeah,
it's like either you go all in or.
Well, I find that with some of our viewers that they've watched My Hero, Attack on Titan. I think those have become the two biggest mainstream animes.
Hell yeah.
Well, the other winners, I mean, there was winners all around. That's what happens at an award show.
Fablemans.
Everyone's favorite. Oh, that one for Best Movie?
Spielberg won, yeah, and I think that won Best Drama.
A lot of Spielberg discourse on film Twitter. It's been fun to sit through it.
We were talking about film Twitter the other day and how much it's just aggravating sometimes.
Yeah, I saw one tweet. Oh, no, it was the author who wrote Blonde, the book for Blonde, when she called The Fablemans unremarkable and that it sends a bad message to young filmmakers. And everyone was just like, whatever, lady.
Is the book as bad as the movie?
I still need to see that movie because I do want to jump in
It's fun to jump in, but it's
because I've seen people who I respect really like it, and some other people don't like it, like you.
I think you would appreciate the attempts, kind of like you were talking about with Skinamarink, but it definitely comes off as I'm better than you at making movies, and
Right.
this is...
Which isn't always the case with Andrew Dominic, but it seems like the book itself reads that way too, because it is this fictionalized version of her life. And that's actually something I want to see more of. I think it's more interesting to fictionalize somebody's life.
But it's so soon. Like, it's people know her.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm thinking more like Jay-Z.
Like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That's cool.
What movie or show is this?
Blonde. It was a Marilyn Monroe biopic with Anna de Armas. But I always thought, like, if you did a biopic on Jay-Z, he's been so self-reflective in his music, you don't necessarily need it. But if you made it like this surrealist young boy once upon a time in Brooklyn type of thing, and you sort of play up on some of his fears and the anxieties of coming up in that environment, making it like I said, like a surrealist biopic.
But that's making him like
Notorious.
Sure, that's not Jay-Z.
I know it's Biggie, but same premise.
And Notorious is like a by the numbers Wikipedia post of a biopic.
And 50 Cent made his own. It was like, I'm just gonna like...
Underrated. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars.
But that's cool because if you respect Jay-Z and like his music and as a person,
Right.
you're gonna take care to do it. I feel like this movie had no respect for Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, I need to watch it. The runtime put me off of it.
It was
normally I like a long runtime, but the reactions, I was like, ooh.
It took me a lot to actually hit play. So like looking at the clock, I'm like, well, if I start it now, but I might have to take a break. I'm gonna order food. Made it through though.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to mention about the Golden Globes?
Wasn't that great of a show.
You watched?
Yeah, but
You sound defeated.
I don't know. I think for the most part the awards were pretty solid though. Nothing was like egregious. I mean, Cate Blanchett winning for Tar. Austin Butler.
Love of my life.
Obviously, the thing with, like, I thought maybe, yeah, that'd be weird if they gave it to Brendan Fraser, especially if he wasn't there.
For The Whale?
Yeah, but, like, there's a whole history there. Like, that's where he got,
Wait, so is The Whale out right now, or no?
yeah,
It
you
is.
can see it in a theater.
And you saw it first at a film festival?
Yeah.
I gotta see that. I want to see it. You said it was good, right?
I liked it. He didn't like it. So
I think you'd like it. Teddy hates when I do that.
I do.
it does sound, yeah.
But a lot of people, once again, who I respect liked it.
So
Well,
why
not a
didn't you
lot.
like it?
Some people. From people I follow on Letterboxd.
I just feel like for you to say that it's not good
that
means that it actually wasn't a good movie. Like, I respect what you...
it's a little disrespectful to Aaron, don't you think?
No, but I like what you say, too. That's why I'm torn right now. Like, well, I don't get why you liked it and he didn't like it.
Go see for
Doesn't make
yourself. You
sense.
might.
I have to, I guess. I make my own
That's a big
decision now.
Nash movie. Nash would love that.
So Austin Butler, right?
Yeah, there you go.
What?
You
He's
didn't
got-
get that, right?
He's not faking that, is he? Like, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
No, it's like with Gary Oldman when he couldn't stop doing the American accent.
Oh, like,
There's just something
like
in
Elvis?
him.
Like he's trying to act
He's
like
just
Elvis?
Elvis.
It's just always Elvis.
I mean, did
That's
you
not
see like
Elvis,
the
but-
before and after interviews with him?
I
Like,
know, it's
there's a before
remarkable.
he took the Elvis job. He just like sounds like this normal,
Just a
like
regular
young
guy.
kid. Yeah. Then it's like the interviews
That was
after.
real as a fucking donut.
He's. You never know. It
I mean,
probably
dude,
took him
when he was,
over.
like his acceptance speech, like was just the whole thing, and like it just sounded like he was still in the movie.
Maybe
You
it
know who had a
changed him,
great
man.
speech? Michelle Yeoh.
And then she started playing the piano, playing him off. Like, well, at least play Suspicious Minds or something.
He said that?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, she won, and I think Everything Everywhere All at Once as a whole is starting to regain momentum, hopefully, for an
I
Oscar.
think it's going to be the Fablemans for Best Picture. I think they're just going to want to give it to Spielberg, and it's building momentum. But we will see. Might come down to a two-man race between everything
Not
everywhere.
won Best Song.
What song?
The one from RRR. Is that
Oh, shit. Yeah. RRR, dude. They're saying that it's got a shot getting in the Best Picture race.
Even
though
if it wasn't nominated for India?
they're pushing for it, man. They're pushing hard with their
I
campaign.
saw that actor.
I mean, honestly,
might
like,
get
what
something.
else?
Rom?
Yeah, he might get a job, like a big job somewhere.
Can you
I
fill
forget
out
what it
10?
was.
I would love to see him in like I know the Ke-Huy Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Was it Marvel?
You should watch that. You would love that. No, this is Ke-Huy Kwan who's going to do the Marvel Loki
okay.
season 2.
From RRR.
No, he's from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
The guy from RRR might get a big gig, I think, in Marvel or something.
Interesting. I would
look
love
it
to
up.
see that too, because he's got star power. I mean, they both do.
No, I do.
Junior?
When that shirtless scene when he's
Hopes
like
to join the
boxing,
Marvel Cinematic
dude, that guy
Universe.
looked like a fucking superhero.
Well, they're both great. I would love to see them both in some Western movies. I know the director said, I'm just going to keep making my shit. So
Good for him.
you guys come and watch it.
And then what else was there?
Ram Karan might get.
Yes, that's his name.
All right.
But the dude from Everything Everywhere All at Once, you need to watch that. He's going to be in Loki season 2.
Everything somewhere all at once.
If you put that in
Google that, it's
you'll
going to come
get
up.
it,
Yeah.
But can you name 10 movies right now that'd be best pictures? Like, it's not like it's super tight where RRR couldn't, like, it wouldn't be like it should be in there.
Yeah, it would definitely be fun, man.
Everything everywhere all at once.
There you go. Nailed it.
Middle-aged Chinese immigrant swept up an insane adventure.
Yeah.
It's right up your alley. You love stories
she's-
about middle-aged Chinese
I couldn't
immigrants.
believe when she said she was 60.
Yeah, she's
That's insane.
incredible game. Aging like LeBron.
Sheesh.
Her speech was so good, and then as soon as it got to the best part, the fucking music starts playing, and she's like, I'll beat you up.
They got to figure that out. Because it's like, I know the show can't go forever, but like these are the
Read the
biggest
room.
moment of these people's lives. I don't know. Oh, what else? Oh, Angela Bassett, Marvel.
Right,
Winning
the
a
first
major
Marvel,
award,
right.
yeah.
First acting award, I guess, for a Marvel movie ever.
Yeah, she was good.
I found it a little disrespectful when Black Panther was nominated the first time around and nobody from the movie got any acting nominations, which seems to happen with these movies that aren't typically in the Best Picture race, and the Oscars like to pat themselves on the back, like, we'll give you the Parasite nominee,
Top
but
Gun, Avatar.
I think Cruise has a chance, man.
Really?
I think so. I would not be surprised morning of they release Best Actor and Tom Cruise is on it.
For what?
Because
The
it could be
Oscars? Is this
sort
for
of
the
a...
Oscars?
Yeah. I think it's half of thank you for bringing people back to the theaters and also thank you for being a star for so many years.
Butler, Frazier, Colin Farrell, locks, I would say.
Yeah, Butler seems to be the favorite in most people's minds.
Oh, my God.
Colin Farrell would be a good one,
What is it
too.
about the
Very
musical
well-deserved.
biopic that gets people... Like, he was, don't get me wrong, great in the role. But it just gets people salivating come award season.
Unless if you're Taron Egerton. Then people could care less.
He
They're
won
like, wait, this is a good movie?
he won the Golden Globe.
Okay. Yes, he did. I remember that.
And then didn't get nominated for the Oscar, or he did get
I
nominated?
don't think he was nominated.
That's
Definitely didn't win.
That's the only, like, with the Golden Globe. Like, Aaron Tyler Johnson won the Golden Globe, not nominated for an Oscar.
Right. Yeah, he won for Nocturnal Animals, right?
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere. All right, guys, before we finish this episode, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Smile Brilliant. Hey, look, I'm a floating head. Give me a minute of your time and you'll learn all you need to know about teeth whitening gimmicks. Let's start with LED whitening lights, a novelty item that doesn't enhance your results, it merely makes peroxide work faster, but not better. Next is whitening strips, a popular choice, and while effective, they can lead to stains along gum lines, crevices, and do not reach the molars. After whitening, you'll find your remaining stains more visible. Not good. Charcoal sounds good on paper, but it's abrasive and wears down tooth enamel. And finally, whitening toothpaste, a product that works only on surface stains, and like charcoal, is abrasive. So you're probably asking yourself the question, what works? Well, I'll show you. Head on over to smilebrilliant.com and check out their custom-fitted teeth whitening trays. Simply order the kit, make your impressions, and ship it off to Smile Brilliant's lab. Their lab is digital, so your impressions are stored on file for easy reordering in case you lose your trays. Shipping is free, and results are backed by a money-back guarantee. Plus, their whitening products are far less expensive than alternatives found at the dentist, so you can brighten your smile without breaking the bank. Smile Brilliant also has you covered with teeth care products ranging from mouth guards, electric toothbrushes, whitening gel, water flosser, and more. In addition to that, you can receive 20% off your order when using promo code NERDSOUP at checkout. So, don't wait. Head on over to their website, choose the products that are right for you, and take care of your teeth. All right, let's move on. Final story here. We're talking a little box office. Avatar 2 continues to dominate. So a few weeks back, we were wondering how high would this get? Will it cross the $2 billion mark? And it looks like it's on its way. It's getting ready to pass No Way Home, which made around $1.9 billion globally. Did not come out in China. So those No Way Home numbers probably would have went over $2 billion if it came out in China. They love the Marvel stuff over there, but they were still on lockdown. But now we wait and see how high this goes. It's already number 6 all time for international box office. And globally, it's doing so well. So in China, it's made $214 million. In France, it's made $120. In Germany, it's made over $100. In Korea, it's made $93. And in the UK, it's made $77. So when people ask who's going to see this movie,
The French.
everyone. Yeah, and specifically the French.
I don't know why, but I think it's hilarious to think about the French just being the hugest Avatar fans.
Don't sleep on the French youth, man. French New Wave is going to be inspired by the French New Wave.
How was it in terms of a sequel? I
How?
haven't seen it yet.
I know, that's weird.
I know.
It was great.
Yeah.
The more I see it, talk about a movie that doesn't feel 3 hours long. That motherfucker flies by.
Jamie said the same
You
thing.
look at your watch and it's like, oh my God, we're at the whale part where the whales going to start getting good.
Jamie said it was so good, like the 3D glasses didn't bother him.
Yeah, dude.
Like you don't.
It is the
realize
best
they're
3D.
on.
No, you don't feel like you're dizzy whatsoever. You're not thrown off whatsoever.
I got dizzy twice.
That would turn me off having put the 3D glasses on. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of 3D, but
Oh, I
if
hate
it's-
3D. It's a gimmick, but he
Yeah.
cares about making 3D look good. So that's why when it comes to him, you have to see. You can't. I would never go see this standard
Bro,
or
was-
RPX.
Well, there was
or-
a while ago everything was in 3D.
I was gonna say,
Right,
was
that's when it
3D
became a
big when
gimmick.
it first came out? Like, was that like the fucking thing to do?
I'm pretty
well, it's
sure
gone
Battle
through
of
phases.
the Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies was in 3D.
Everything after Avatar for a
Yeah.
while, up until at least Guardians of the Galaxy, because we saw that in 3D.
So
My first 3D
3D
was
Yeah.
Spy Kids. That was my first 3D movie ever.
For a lot of us, it was.
Well,
That's
I'm
when
pretty
you-
sure it got
blue and
popular in
red
the
glasses.
70s. Yeah. And then it went away, and then Avatar repopularized it because of how much money they were able to make, because you charge more.
You know what's really impressive? And I don't know, like, the capabilities of theaters or how you would have to manufacture this and if it's even feasible. But if you go to, like, Universal or, like, Disney, what they're able to do with the virtual type rides with no glasses, it is super immersive. And I don't know if that's anything. It's probably maybe just super expensive, and that's
It's
why
a
you
smaller
can't do
scale
it.
too, though.
Sure, but like if you can ever capture that into like a theater experience, like that's I mean, that's what
Like actually being in the fucking movie. Kind
Avatar was like as close to that as possible. But even like there's this Harry Potter ride where you feel like you're just hanging out with Hagrid and the boys.
That's
I don't
pretty
even
cool.
know Hagrid was in it, but like you're flying through and it's like super like
Was that the motorbike ride? The Hagrid's motorbike ride?
that's another one. That's a good ride. It's a really good one.
I saw a TikTok that had like people were in line for like 4 hours for a 2-minute ride.
Just gotta get the fast pass.
My
But-
stomach just growled for 10 seconds.
But I think it's
At least
kind of
me and Aaron
like
were talking
how
about it, right?
Yeah.
like you know when you see like a curved TV
Mhm.
Yeah.
on like kind of adds that depth. That
That's
was a
not your
big
stomach,
one.
is it?
That was crazy.
I feel like I was talking to you.
I haven't eaten since breakfast.
But I guess that's to do with like that's, what do you
Did that Mike
fast?
caught that?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Why didn't you eat lunch?
I forgot. I looked
How
up
do
at
you
the
forget
clock.
lunch?
You
all of a
looked up
sudden,
and it was 2,
I
and it
had
was
some
almost time to record.
baby carrots. That's it.
That's like thunder.
so loud,
it's like
dude.
thunder out.
Is it thunder? It's gonna rain tonight.
I thought it was supposed to rain like 30 minutes ago. All right, before we get to fan questions, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor for today's episode, and that's going to be Mint Mobile. Now, coming into the new year, people have different resolutions. It may be eating better, losing weight, reading more. For me personally, it's to watch more TV. I spent a lot of the time last year watching movies. But for some people, it's saving money. So, if saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? I mean, I've seen some of the phone bills my friends and family are paying, and I say to them, dude, what is your phone doing for you? Does it cook you dinner? Does it massage your feet? I don't think so. So switching to Mint Mobile this year is the easiest way to save money. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from your home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Let me say that again. $15 a month for unlimited talk, unlimited text, high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And the good thing about Mint Mobile, as I previously mentioned, it's an online-only service. So it eliminates the traditional costs of retail. You don't have to drive to the store and talk to someone who may or may not know what they're doing. And there's no backdoor dealing, shady hidden fees and stuff like that. It's just $15 a month, as I've said now 3 times. And I'm going to probably say it again. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in minutes with eSIM. It's a very easy process and it is compatible with most phones. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, there you go, I said it again, and then get that plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/nerdsoup. That's mintmobile.com/nerdsoup. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/nerdsoup. All right, go check it out and then give me a call. Just kidding. Don't do that. I won't answer you. Send you to voicemail. Teddy, aren't you looking for a new phone plan? You know this company's owned by Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool himself.
Really? Wait, is this part of the ad, or are you plugging a thing in? You're plugging like a thing in, right? That you
No, I already plugged it in. Now we're doing a little riffing back and forth.
Okay. So I should go with Mint and say, I'm looking for a new phone service.
That's perfect. I'm going to just keep that all in. Just like that. Not even going to do the spot. All right, let's move on to fan questions. How about that?
Yeah.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay! People, you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
All right, this first question here from Hand of the Queen at B_Allen53. Popular fan casting out there on the internet.
You need a sandwich, man.
I need a sandwich so bad. I'm going to go directly to Subway. Millie Alcock is Gwen Stacy Spider-Gwen. Thoughts?
It seems like it's the perfect one, right?
She looks good. I hope she does break out and become a big star, sort of like Jenna Ortega is doing because of the Wednesday show. And I think it did hurt her not being the main character for a full season. And in a lot of people's minds, we know that she's not coming back. So I hope she does get that sort of role because I enjoyed her so much.
It also depends
I'm
on
always
what
going to
you
have a
want.
soft spot for the Game of Thrones people.
It depends on what she wants to do, though. Like, because that's like a big step going into the Spider-Verse or into like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, going from where you were. Like, if she wants to take that route, that might jam you up for a while.
She's kind
if
of
you
in
want
like
to
the
actually
perfect,
do your own thing.
in a way, kind of in a
Money,
perfect.
yeah. I mean, if it was me, yeah, absolutely. But I'm not.
No,
an
it does
I'm
come
not an
down to
actor or
that.
an
It's like
actress.
with Chalamet after Call Me By Your Name. I'm sure he was offered every role under the sun. And he was like, no, I'm going to do the roles that, I'll do a big movie like Dune. But even Dune is sort of a $200 million indie. So it really does depend on what you want to do. And she's talked about sort of the feelings of anxiety associated with her newfound fame that she's been experiencing. So maybe it's not something she wants to do, right? But Marvel also, they're never going to listen to the internet unless it's like a fun throwaway John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic type of thing. So eventually this character's coming to live action, right?
Yeah, depends who it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess it's already been in fucking live action. Emma Stone.
Oh, yeah.
Erasure there. Jesus.
R.I.P. You know what's funny? All these characters are going to be like 30 by the time they get around to it.
Yeah.
It's like with the Young Avengers. They set up the Young Avengers, but by the time it actually comes around, they're not going to be young anymore. Well, relative, but like...
You would think that has to come out like this year, next year. I don't know what the release date is for that, but...
Yeah, but it's not, so...
All right, this question here from Nick D. Hey guys, what are your thoughts on the Beau is Afraid trailer? How do you think it will ultimately do in the box office? Didn't watch the trailer. I'm going to avoid that one because I imagine not many people, well, some people listening want to hear us talk about it, but I want to go into that completely in the dark. But just from the promotional images I saw, it looks like it's going to be another Ari Aster banger.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix movie where he's like a young kid and then he's middle-aged and then he's older. So he's playing different stages of his life.
All in one movie?
All in one movie, yeah.
I'm happy you get to use that. That was like a joke.
Yeah, that's fun, right? The whole Beau is Afraid thing.
So, yeah, I am. 1,000 likes.
Not quite 1,000, but...
I know. I like to do that when people like say something like Aaron vague. I'll respond like they're talking to me, but they're not. That's the joke. It's fun. Good for a few laughs.
Yeah, I remember your Aaron Hernandez tweet. That was funny.
Oh, jeez. Someone said Teddy looked like Aaron Hernandez.
It's not someone. It's that video Gabby put up on TikTok.
Yeah, someone did a
Everyone
TikTok.
said
You
it.
know what? Now that I look at you at first, I was like, kinda.
It's
Yeah.
got like 2,000 comments, and like 100 of them say that I'm like Aaron Hernandez.
Really?
Yeah.
You went viral on TikTok for looking like Aaron Hernandez?
Not just me. A bunch of us did.
Like people I know?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, but you were included?
Strangers on TikTok were saying it.
No, but
It wasn't viral.
the people into TikTok.
Yeah, like Gabby.
You know, it's like a trend where it's like past and like yearbook photo, and then it's Teddy. They did that.
There's a song that
But if
people
there are that
do it
many
to.
comments, that means it's just like random people on the internet saying
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so it's semi-viral.
It's semi-viral. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
give you that. I kind of got put off by it.
Box office, I mean, I don't know. With a movie like this, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, what makes a
Midsummer made $48 million on a $9 million budget, but you have Joaquin Phoenix, and Joaquin Phoenix is an A-lister.
right?
And he's sort of got that A-list appeal to indie fans, to cinephiles as well.
I go out
But
and see
kind
to
of
it.
also
have-
to mainstream fans.
like, what's like, come on, like, what did that do?
Probably not much.
I don't know a single thing
That
about
had
this
zero
premise,
promotion
but
to it,
you said
so-
Joaquin Phoenix, and I would go out and see the movie because Joaquin Phoenix is in it.
Did you see? Come
Right,
on.
there you go. Well, Come On
No.
made $4 million on an $8 million budget,
Yeah. So
but also not horror. So you're not
Right.
going to sell people on creeping them out. It still amazes me to this day what Joker was able to do at the
that's
box
the cool
office.
connect. Like, oh, Joaquin Phoenix doing another horror movie. Oh, he was super weird in Joker. This might be cool.
Yeah. He's another one that's done a really good job of picking roles that some mainstream, some indie, but they always are roles that he wants to do.
I want to say a movie you post, like you always send it. He's looking at a picture. You always send it as a meme, and he screams at the
Oh,
picture.
when he screens Inherent Vice. So good.
And he starts smiling.
Well, a woman shows him a picture of her baby. She's like, "Oh, I got a picture of him right here," and he's like, "Ah, mm-hmm." One of his best performances, man. But I think it will be. We'll see. Our Hereditary, I think, did well at the box office too in relation to its budget. Did you like Midsummer?
Yeah,
Yeah, you like that shit.
creepy as fuck.
So does Nash. This question here from Matt_Samson1. Name 3 movies that defined your childhood.
Here we go. We're
Star
gonna get laughed
Wars, Shrek, Like Mike.
Dr. Zhivago, Brief Encounter, Bridge on a River Kwai.
You had a lean childhood.
There's different phases. Like when
Dumb
I
and
think
Dumber.
back on it, like
I love how you leaned back in your chair and you're like looking off into the clouds. Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
at. Rugrats in Paris. No, or the Rugrats movie, the original one.
Right, yeah.
Rugrats Go to Paris?
With Dill.
Yeah,
And Dill comes and fucks everything up for Tommy.
yeah.
fucking menace.
It's
get
kind of a
lost.
horror movie for Tommy.
Bro,
You
it's kinda-
slept in the closet?
I used to watch all this, like The Patriot, all the time when I was a kid.
Fuck yeah, dude, the Patriot was nice.
Like Liar Liar was a big one in my house.
Braveheart.
Major League. And Sandlot. I give it Sandlot. I used to watch the fucking Sandlot on repeat.
Angels in the Outfield.
I was never a big Disney movie kid. Like a Lion King was like I liked the Lion King a lot, but
There's some people who just are crazy for The Lion King because of how much they watch it as kids, but it was never big for me. I used to like Toy Story, Monsters, Inc.,
Well,
but it really was Shrek.
I used to watch Shrek a lot. Yeah,
That was my main one as a kid.
I could agree with Shrek.
I used to
always
think
put it on, and it's like, how do you? Every time there's nothing to watch, somehow Shrek always gets on.
it's so good.
Like,
is-
it's always on.
It's
not gonna
funny
not put it
because
on.
the animation hasn't held up whatsoever. It's the ugliest movie, but that's sort of part of the charm. You watch it and you remember what it was like being 8 years old. And
When he
watching
first
Shrek
gets to
and
the
Donkey.
castle and he plays that little song, and the little puppets do
The doo-wop song.
yeah, and then they're
Duville.
like,
Okay.
and they say wash your, and it's supposed to be ass, but then they say face. That used to get me every time. It
Oh,
still gets
yeah.
me.
Are you kidding me, dude? In the morning,
Donkey.
Donkey
in the
was
picture.
into it. I
I
mean,
just-
in the morning we're making waffles was the
Oh.
one-liner of our childhood.
It's insane.
Or that's a nice boulder.
That's a nice.
Someone just posted a meme, and I thought it was so funny. It was Shrek as Brendan Gleeson's character in Banshees of Inisherin. with his finger off, and it said, "Just I don't want to be friends with you anymore, donkey."
They really do have that relationship in that first movie. Just be nice to him, man.
If you ever come across Shrek the Musical on Netflix, don't watch it.
I hear it's a fever dream.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Even the Adam Sandler movies that Ronnie had with Gilmore, Madison.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Mr. Deeds.
Those movies were, I mean, in the 90s, that guy was moving different.
He was. He couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, dude.
Liar Liar is one that fucking got me too.
That's only his favorite movie.
Isn't it really
Yeah.
depressing how that sort of era is over? Where
Yes.
you're not going to have a Jim
Yes, it
Carrey
is.
be the biggest star in the world or an Adam Sandler, even if I don't love all their movies, but I do miss that era.
But like Jim Carrey had that stint with Mask, Liar, Liar, Ace
Yeah,
Venturas,
dude.
Dumb and Dumber. It was the same thing with Adam Sandler too.
Will Smith, you
Even
know,
Eddie
when he
Mur-
was
like,
making his
Eddie
big
Murphy
blockbusters.
got
Eddie Murphy.
honored at the Golden Globes, and like the run he had, like I guess it was the '90s, like
80s. Yeah.
incredible.
Coming to New York, Trading Places.
Come to America.
Oh, Coming to America.
It was in New York, though.
Sequel was terrible.
What's
He's
the
trying
movie
to
with
find
him
a
in the
queen,
stock
and he
market
goes
thing?
to Queens. That's a funny bit.
Or he's the butler or some shit.
Trading Places.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like pretending to be a rich guy, right?
Yeah. With, what's his face? Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 1983. I mean, that guy was on fire. But you just don't see that anymore. I think that's why the Oscars is going to nominate Tom Cruise, because he's the last of that breed, even though the movies aren't similar. But it is a Tom Cruise picture when you go out and see it. He's a selling point, you know. And there's, you know, The Rock had a chance of becoming one of the last ones, but his movies are so inconsistent.
He has not one classic.
Yeah, the only one you can argue kind of is Fast Five.
That's not his movie.
But it's not his movie. It's the Diesel's classic.
What's the Rock classic?
It ends up being like
Skyscraper?
Scorpion King, just because of how goofy it looks, you know?
Oh my god, that's bad. Talk about bad CGI.
Or what's the other one he did? The Run?
The Rundown?
The Rundown.
That's a
yeah.
classic.
that was with
Walking
Stifler,
Tall.
right?
I always get confused. Walking Tall is with Johnny Knoxville, or is that The Rundown?
The Rundown was with Stifler. I forgot his name though.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
So that means Walking Tall is with Johnny Knoxville. Went from them to Kevin Hart.
American Pie was a good one too when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember that being really popular.
That guy is funny, dude.
Like older,
Eugene
I feel like
Levy.
Superbad was definitely one that like a little older was kind of like this.
That counts. That's high school. You know?
I know. I'm thinking like when I was like a preteen, teen, like young adult. But like as I got older, I would say like a lot of the comedies, like Superbad, The Other Guys, and then yeah, shit like Lord of the Rings. I was always a fan of, and
I didn't get into those till like after high school.
All right, this question here from Alex. Coldest line of all time from Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon?
Ooh.
Oh, the coldest
call
line
me
is easy.
sister again, and I'll have you strangled in your sleep.
That's a good one. But not near the top.
Okay.
Maybe 10, 15 range. It's when Tyrion tells Tywin, you know, why the fuck did you kill Robb at his wedding? The North will remember. And Tywin responds, good. Let them remember what happens when they march on the South.
Damn.
That motherfucker Tywin, man, didn't play. And this isn't a badass line, but
By the way, Tywin, another line from Tywin, which is not like one of the top ones, but you'll laugh when you hear it. When he says the lions don't
yeah.
care about the opinions of sheep. And Teddy hearing that for the first time. What was it for?
Corsage.
Yeah, and for the Corsage trailer.
Teddy thought that was the
That was a
bar of
bar,
the
man.
century.
He thought that was an original line written for that movie, and he thought it was like the coldest shit he's ever heard in his life.
It hit me,
Writers
man.
need to stop using that at this point. It's
Yeah.
been used so many times.
Unless you're Teddy.
Yeah.
It hit me. No, I mean, now
well,
I
that's why
know.
they keep using it, because
Now
I know that.
They got guys like me.
Well,
Damn, who wrote that?
Shakespeare?
I love when Oberyn's asking Tywin if, you know, he had his sister killed, and Oberyn says, so you would deny it? And Tywin responds real cool, categorically.
I can't quote many of them. I mean, you guys can probably put the pieces together, but when Cersei, I forget who she was talking to, kept saying for her armor, her guards to like back up. And
power is
Power
power.
is
Yeah.
power. That's a bar. They were boys. He was so pissed.
I mean, Tyrion's got so many of them.
Does he have all of them? Does Ned have any?
Winter is coming.
That's like that's the saying. Or when he's like, the
So
same
where were you
maker
guys
makes
before
all the
when-
Princess Mercedes
so-
toys.
That one wasn't the fucking top of the list when they first came up.
No, when he's talking to Jamie and Jamie asks him why he doesn't fight in tournaments, and he says, because when I fight a man for real, I don't want him to know what I can do.
Well said.
Makes sense.
Jamie's like, yo,
Logical.
this man's kind of sexy.
Logical.
All right, last question here. We're getting a lot of this.
asking you to forget you're dead.
That's just the best speech.
I'll kill your wife. Go ahead.
What?
Oh, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about Walter
I'll
Frey.
find another.
Yeah.
I'll slit your wife's throat.
That's just cold from like a
I'll find another.
Like it's horrible.
just like I don't even know how to describe
No.
it.
Tell me
Nobody
when you said that, you were like,
No,
Yeah.
when he said that, I was horrified by what just happened.
Well, they got game like
traumatized.
that.
I really couldn't believe.
I was
how
hanging
that
on to a
all
thread that
panned out.
Catelyn was getting out of this. I was like, she's getting out of here, right? She's going to wiggle her way.
Bro, whoever came over and stabbed her in the stomach, with
Oh, yeah.
it was like menaceful. It was like
It was like whack-a-mole.
on her stomach. That's a brutal scene to watch.
I remember that being like, I feel like that was a topic of discussion. Like too far, too much.
It was, yeah. I think a lot of people still think that they went too far in that scene.
No, the abortion scenes were pretty big on House of the
Don't you
Dragon.
want to teach little Ned Stark how to ride horses?
All right, this question here from Eve Ware. What movie show are you most excited to watch this year?
TV show?
I don't
Tila.
know if it's coming out this year, but Park Chan-wook, coming off of Decision to Leave, he's got an HBO show called The Sympathizer that's starring Robert Downey Jr., and it's an espionage thriller about a former Vietnamese soldier who comes over to America and tries to sort of acclimate into American society. And Robert Downey Jr. is playing 5 different characters. And one of the set photos went viral a few
Nutty
weeks
Professor.
back. Yeah. And he's completely bald. And everyone was like, whoa. Because people have been seeing him on red carpets and he's got the really short hair. Apparently he shaved his head for this role. I'm really excited for that because I'm excited for this, not the Twilight, because he's, relatively still young in terms of just overall life, but post-Marvel Robert Downey Jr., working with Christopher Nolan, doesn't have to be the lead. He's not doing shit like Doolittle, taking a supporting role, but it's a big role and something directed by Park Chan-wook. I want to see him work with these more established directors, get back into what made him such a popular choice to play Iron Man in the first place for Jon Favreau.
Well, I mean, the easy ones are like Dune 2, right? And
Yeah.
you got like
The Bear season 2.
The Bear
It's coming out soon.
Succession, like
Oh, yeah.
best show on
Succession,
TV
dude.
coming back. You haven't seen Better Call Saul. How can you say the best show on TV? I'm making assumptions based off of
Ted
what I
hasn't
know.
seen it either. So
Yeah.
you guys are both stupid.
I'm getting it.
Shut the fuck. You not watching Better Call Saul disappoints me the most.
Don't put that on me.
It does.
Yeah, the Oppenheimers, like
I don't expect much from them.
Oh, Oppenheimer. I kind of want to see that too.
I'm pumped for
Pumped for that.
Oppenheimer, dude. One of our questions was, is Cillian Murphy the most underrated actor working today? He might be.
I mean, take Peaky Blinders. I mean,
I'm so excited for Oppenheimer, man.
Robert Downey Jr., right?
Looks like, yeah, such a good political thriller.
I hope it's like really,
some
really
Scorsese
correct.
this
because,
year,
like,
right?
I don't know all the facts, and I'm not going to learn. I'm going to learn from
You're
watching
not
this.
reading
No, I'm not reading.
American Prometheus?
No.
It's only about 25 hours long.
So all my Oppenheimer knowledge is going to come from Oppenheimer. So,
So we're getting a Nolan this
it's all
year.
100% factual.
We're getting a Gerwig. We're getting a Scorsese. Who else we getting?
There's quite a few. Ari Aster,
Ari Aster. Yeah. Villeneuve.
Villeneuve, yeah.
Is Dune coming out this year?
Dune is coming out this year, yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool.
coming out
Dune
around the
2?
same time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
bro, how
They may
long
have
ago was
wrapped.
Dune?
I think they wrapped filming already.
How long ago was Dune?
End of
2 years ago.
2021.
It'll be 2 years since the last one.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, they got right back into shooting it. That's what they spent, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure, all last 2022 doing. Or the second half. They started in the summer, and I think they wrapped.
When's Avatar going to be done?
That's 2024.
I got to read the book. I got to finish that book.
Avatar?
Fuck up.
No. Dune.
Yeah, Dune just finished filming last month.
Oh, no shit.
Got the text from Villeneuve. Yo, we just wrapped it up, boy. What you doing? Okay, last question here. What's the next video game you would want to see adapted? And a lot of people asked us this since The Last of Us
Zelda,
was so
Ocarina
good.
of Time.
For a long time, there was a
I was just playing it the other day. I'm like,
rumors that Netflix was going to do that, or I think it was even confirmed, but it seems to be in development hell.
I need
Does
something.
that
from
work
this.
as a live action movie or show?
With the right people, with the
They
right
can make it
budget,
work. Is there a book on Ocarina of Time?
Animation?
animation would be better.
Yeah.
They'd probably find something. I think if you're going to go like big budgeted HBO multiple seasons, the best choice is Mass Effect. I mean, if you guys ever get the chance to play that first game, you'll play it and think this needs to be a television show.
Is that what
It's
you just
got-
playing?
I
just
played
playing
it
that, right?
last year. Yeah, I'm still stuck on the second one. I do need to finish it.
It's
But
God of War you were playing.
the world is, there's just so many things that they could tackle. The political stuff is great. The world building, there's so much potential there for different alien creatures and different, perspectives on the story, because everybody loves that POV shit now because of Game of Thrones. So Mass Effect would be my choice. But even if they wanted to do a Red Dead Redemption show, is the thing with video games is they've become so cinematic that you really don't need to do that. You could just play the game.
Yeah.
There's a Red Dead Redemption show. Not everyone's going to do that. So
I mean, that's like what Last of Us was. You can just like watch the short clips of
I do
The
that.
Last of Us
I do that shit all the time.
and
I'll
enjoy
just
it.
watch like the cutscenes, and they make it into like a movie.
So what you're saying, Zelda, I'm saying
Yeah.
Mass Effect, Aaron, MLB The Show.
Yeah, we'll actually do it in live action every year. Maybe like I feel like I mean Red Dead Redemption would be cool.
Westworld kind of got it.
You mean the other way?
What?
Oh, you're saying
I'm sa-
Westworld's already
No, I'm saying like
right. Proof.
like it can happen.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought you were saying like we should make Westworld a video game.
No.
That'd be kind of
You should just make
I guess that
Westworld
would be cool.
without
just
the-
remake
without the
Westworld and make it better.
malfunctions.
Just start from season 2.
AI, that's a big thing now, right?
No, more in the early 2000s.
No, I'm just
When
saying
he
like
took the Sixers to the
nice.
Has him on skates right now. I want to say quick about Tilu, the show. I fell asleep halfway through.
Okay,
I'm going back into it when I get home from here.
from the beginning.
But no, from where I left off.
Okay.
What Pedro Pascal can do? I don't know who the actress is with Sarah. I
oh,
literally thought my daughter died with how that connection was within 15 minutes.
It was
That's
so well
fucking insane.
developed. Yeah. She's
You
actually
watch shit like that
He was really good with her.
in like different eyes now as your
Now
dad.
with that, yeah, I got kind of teary when she died, but it was so emotional. But we only saw him with Sarah for 10 minutes of the show, and I literally felt like his daughter died. It
Yeah.
was
No, they absolutely nailed it. Both of them were so charming in their roles that
so sweet, man.
Yeah.
She takes his money, gets his watch fixed, she falls asleep on him.
You would have been so fucking pissed.
When?
Fast forward like 15 years, your daughter steals your money to fix your watch.
No.
And passes it as a gift.
That's a boss move. I respect it. I'd respect that move.
All right,
So,
guys.
He took my money to get my watch fixed.
Me and Teddy will be a little back a little later in the week. We'll do a spoiler discussion. Aaron's going to Sundance. Hope you enjoy that, Aaron.
It should be fun.
And I'll just be in my room. Teddy will be working. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to our first podcast of the year. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And come back.
We should
right?
do this more often.
Weekly?
Fuck you.
Wow, that was probably our best review yet. Hey guys, Aaron the Nerd Suit Monkey here with a brief shameless plug before we end the video. Do you ever feel like you don't have an adequate amount of nerd soup in your life? Like you're going to bed hungry and yearning for the nonsensical yet entertaining nutrients our podcasts provide? Well, we've come up with the perfect solution. The Nerd Soup Fan Question Podcasts, exclusively available to our Patreon supporters. You can sign up now by visiting patreon.com/nerdsoup, and for the price of only $1 per month, you'll receive exclusive access to our weekly podcast where we answer your questions that don't make it to the main show. And while you're there, you can check out the other rewards we offer to our patrons, like stickers, mugs, t-shirts, behind-the-scenes footage, and appearing in the credits at the end of our videos. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Roll the names of the nerds who make Nerd Soup possible. The reason why the crypto crash didn't send our lives spiraling down a black hole of no return. Alright, I'll stop talking so you can listen to this jazzy-ass music while checking if Bo spelt your name wrong in the credits.